Welcome to Storied Audio. I still remember the exact moment I broke his heart. It was a Friday afternoon in late summer, the kind of day where the heat clings to your skin and even the air feels heavy. We were sitting on my old gray couch, the one with the loose thread he always played with when he was nervous. But he wasn't nervous that day. He was relaxed, smiling, telling me about a new project at work. His eyes were bright, hopeful, full of plans he assumed I'd be part of. And I was about to shatter all of it. "I think we should break up," I said. Just like that. No build-up. No gentle lead-in. I was 23 and convinced that bravery meant bluntness. His smile froze. His hands stilled. The room went painfully still. "What?" he whispered. My throat tightened, but I forced myself to keep going. "I love you, but I need to see what's out there. I need to travel. I need to live somewhere bigger than this town." He nodded slowly, like each word was a blow he had to absorb. "You need something I can't give you," he said quietly. I didn't answer. I didn't have to. I swear I felt the exact second his heart cracked, in the way his shoulders dropped, the way his eyes dimmed, the way he exhaled like he'd been punched. But he didn't argue. He didn't beg. He didn't even ask why. He just stood up and quietly gathered the few things he kept at my place. A hoodie, a toothbrush, a book he'd been reading. He didn't look at me again. Not once. When the door closed behind him, the silence was deafening. I told myself I'd done the right thing. That I needed freedom. Adventure. That love wasn't enough. I was so sure. I was so stupid. 2 months later I moved to the city for a new job. Tiny apartment. Thin walls. A view of a brick alleyway I pretended was charming. I traveled constantly. Chicago, London, Tokyo, Sydney. My passport filled with stamps. My suitcase became my closest companion. I learned how to sleep on planes, how to eat alone in restaurants, how to pretend I wasn't lonely. People told me I was living the dream. But every time I came home for the holidays, I'd drive past the places we used to go. The diner where he ordered pancakes, the river where we talked for hours, the movie theater with the flickering sign from our first date. And something inside me twisted. I kept telling myself I'd reach out someday when I was ready, when I had something impressive to show for the years I spent away. But time doesn't wait for readiness. I heard about his success through small-town gossip. The owner of the company he worked for retired, and he bought it. Just like that. He was the new owner. The boss. The man in charge. I was proud of him. But the pride was tangled with something sharp and painful. Because he had become everything I always believed he could be. And I wasn't there to see it. Loneliness, exhaustion, and a quiet truth finally pushed me to reach out. Nothing out there compared to him. I dialed his number. Voicemail. And again. And again. I sent a text. "Hey, it's me. I'd love to catch up if you're open to it." Delivered. Never read. I told myself he was busy. But deep down I knew. He wasn't going to answer. I found out he was married through social media. A suggested friend, a familiar name, a photo that made my breath catch. He stood on a beach at sunset, his arm around a woman with warm eyes and a smile that reached all the way to her soul. They looked happy. Not forced happy. Not, "I'm fine" happy. Real happy. The kind of happy we used to talk about having someday. I clicked her profile. I shouldn't have, but I did. Photos of them everywhere. Greece, Scotland, Iceland, Morocco. All the places I once thought I needed to go alone. They traveled together. They laughed together. They lived the life I wanted with him. And the irony cut so deep I could barely breathe. I left him because I wanted excitement, adventure, the world. And he gave all of that, every bit of it, to someone else. Someone who didn't need to leave to know he was enough. The heartbreak wasn't sudden. It was slow, quiet. A soft ache that settled into my bones and stayed there. It was waking up in a hotel room in Paris and realizing I'd trade every view of the Eiffel Tower just to wake up next to him again. It was sitting in a meeting in New York and suddenly remembering the way he used to tuck my hair behind my ear. It was scrolling through photos of his life and feeling like I was watching a movie I was supposed to star in. It was knowing, truly knowing, that I made the biggest mistake of my life. And there was no fixing it. I didn't just lose him. I lost the life I was meant to have. The final blow wasn't dramatic. It was a photo. Him and his wife standing in front of the business he now owned. He looked older, stronger, more confident. His smile was the same, warm, genuine, the kind of smile that made you feel safe. Her hand rested on his chest. his arm wrapped around her waist. They look like a team, like partners, like soulmates. And I realized something that broke me completely. He had healed. He had moved on. He had built a life without me. And he was happy. Truly deeply happy. Without me. Sometimes you make a choice you can't undo. I chose to leave. I chose to chase something I didn't really want. I chose to walk away from the one person who ever felt like home. And now I live with the consequences. I still travel. I still work. I still smile in photos. But there's a part of me, a quiet, aching part, that knows the truth. I didn't need the world. I needed him. And I let him go. Subscribe to the channel for more audio stories.